can be very difficult to figure out all the various pieces of your trust. If you have a trust where the trust document was done and it was never amended, those are easy cases because you only have one document you have to look at to figure out what the trust terms are. But if you have a trust that was amended quite a few times, it can be a real problem to figure out what all the trust terms are, because you have to look through each of the trust amendments to figure out how they change the original trust terms or how they even change each other. And then once you read all that, then you can figure out what the ultimate trust terms are going to be. There's times when people will do a trust restatement, which means they just simply start over. So rather than having a trust in 12 amendments, they can do a restatement with the 13th Amendment, for example, and say this is the definitive document, forget everything that came before. But then, sure enough, people will want to make more changes and they might do an amendment to that restatement. The question becomes, if the restatement is revoked, let's say there's some later amendment that does away with the restatement, are the subsequent amendments to that restatement also revoked? And the answer is, it all depends on what the language says. Trust documents are always based on the intent of the settlor. So you have to look at that amendment that revoked the restatement, for example, and you have to ask yourself, what was the intent? Was it the intent to get rid of that and every other amendment? Was it the intent just to get rid of a little piece of the restatement but keep the rest of it? It all depends on the language that is used. And that's why sorting out a trust document can be a real puzzle, especially if there's been multiple amendments throughout the years.